listen, dog. Listen, the only police we fuck with is the crooked police, there's power rules and crips, there's gang members that niggas don't know they gang members. We fuck with them police, them the homies.
Yeah.
They do everything we need them to do. And it's a lot of them out here. You know, they'll pull a nigga over and take it where we need to take them. Them the police we fuck with. So we fuck with police. But we fuck with the police, that's us. They don't work in the hood. They may work over there, but if I got a license plate number, you know what I'm saying? You know how I go. You know what I'm saying? So it's keeping it real.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. Today, we're putting the spotlight right back on the pork loin leader, CS2 Back. Because once again, we've caught him in another lie, an ancient lie at that. This time, the late, great Prodigy from Mobb Deep is speaking from beyond the grave, exposing Porky for the liar he is. Let's rewind the hands of time, back to when Spider told us the exact reason he stopped rocking with Porky. He said the fallout happened because Porky went on camera and lied on him, placing him at an event he was never at, just to make himself look bigger, tougher, and more connected than he really is.
And he jumped on camera and every reputable, that's my boy. My name ended up in the mix. But not only did he throw me in that mix, cut lied on me and put me at an event, an incident that I wasn't even there, and then had this imaginary conversation with me that he could never stand to have in person. I do not discuss violence, no intentions on violence. I do share tales of all type of past experiences. Violence is included every now and then, but I've never wanted to threaten anyone in public. However, had this cat ever stated or uttered any of the preposterous words that he has claimed to say to me in public, in person, such as something about batteries in my back, and he ain't never heard of no G-Unit Crip, and cuz on my mama, daughters, dead homies, everything I love and live for, hope and have. Check me out, cuz it would not have happened, cuz I just know myself. Everybody that knows me knows what would have taken place. Everybody that knows he knows. I don't know where he get this. I don't know. I think his brain worked well enough to where he know I don't know, cuz. But anyway, long story short, I've been telling y'all ever since he lied on me, cuz. Ever since I got aware he lied on me, cuz been lying about everything he say.
It wasn't just a lie. It was clout chasing at Spider's expense. And that's the moment Spider said he was done with Porky. I'm doing this video to show y'all just how long Porky's been lying, and how deep this pattern really runs. This right here is the clip Spider was talking about. It wasn't recent. It was uploaded 8 years ago.
See, me and Game, like coming up, me and Game really, Suge don't like Game. Right? For whatever reason, right? We don't have a reason, but he don't like Game. So, it was a situation that occurred in Game that touched bases on it on the song in the doc too. When he said he went in his pocket and handed me some money. That's true. But it was an event that happened before that where I was at the Four Seasons Hotel in Beverly Hills. Me, Suge, the homie Lil John from Fruitown Power Rule, and Zap from Treetop Power Rule having a meeting. And I get a call from the homie Brisk from Westside. He tell me that G-Unit niggas had them niggas surrounded at the Hyatt on Sunset. Right? Mm-hmm. And they needed some help. So I tell Suge I'm about to roll and see what's happening with the homie. Suge like, man, fuck Game, man. Fuck that. I say, Suge, check this out. End of the day, that's a power rule. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go and assist these power rules. Now, if I get caught up or fucked off on account of you not assisting me, that's something you got to deal with. So I spared off. Lil John and Zap followed. I pull up and sure enough, it was 40 Glocc. Spotted Lope, that's my nigga from 9-7 East Coast. He leading the rally because back then he was like G-Unit West, shit like that, right? So when I got out, I'm like, Spotted, what's happening? Right? He like, Wack, man, we on this Black Wall Street G-Unit shit, right? I say, my nigga, where 50 at? I said, bring 50 at on Power Rule. I'll make him run that fade, right? So he like, he ain't here. I said, well, this is like some gang man shit to me. I ain't never seen no West Coast allowed from nowhere to put a steering wheel in their motherfucking back. You talking about G-Unit, you from East Coast, right? Yeah. So at this time, Zap and them stopped in the middle of the street. Suge pulled in when he's in that red Bentley, right? So now I can only imagine Game's mind frame because he know him and Suge is beefing. He know my name, but we don't know each other. We don't know each other. We don't know each other, but he know I'm running with Suge tough every day, right? So he got 40 G units and Suge didn't pull up with one of his hitters. So, but he's standing to the side and valet behind his car, assessing the situation. So I, spotted like, Wack, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. I said, listen, Spotted, I got 16 on me. I don't know what that motherfucking Suburban got in it. So this is what we gonna do. How about we say Spotted Low gave Black Wall Street a pass today. Yeah. So Spotted looks at me because we go back to the juvenile side of the county. Spotted Low was soldier, right? So it just came down to a real respect thing where they left. So I want to introduce myself to Game.
Let's get this straight. Porky just said that when he pulled up, Foti and Spider were both out there. Then, after they left, he went and introduced himself to Game. But let's pause right there. You introduce yourself to someone when you're meeting them for the first time. That's the whole point of an introduction. You don't introduce yourself to somebody you already know. I want you guys to keep that in mind as we move forward.
So I want to introduce myself to Game. Game told me, pull up on me, man, let's talk, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And let's, start moving together, whatever. So like 3 months went by, and he got with my man Stutterbox from Main Street, sent his number, and I pulled up on him. He was doing LAX at the time. And I walked in, he was in the booth. He signaled for me to come to the booth. When I walked in the booth, he just went in his pocket and gave me everything he got. He didn't realize, he probably didn't give a fuck. He gave me like 18,000 or some shit. He just handed me everything he had. He like, that's just out of respect of what you did for me. Let's start moving. I'm up under Jimmy Henchman right now.
So according to Porky, after he met up with the Game handed him $18,000. And not just randomly. He said it was out of respect for what Porky allegedly did for him. Basically, Porky is claiming he saved Game from 40, Spider, and G Unit. And that this act of heroism is what earned him that money. Then, right after that, Porky says Game told him, let's start moving. So let's be clear. This is Porky himself telling you that the Spider/40 Glocc situation is what put him next to Game. That's what got him in the door, and that's what started the movement. We didn't twist or create that narrative. He said it. You heard it. That one moment of chaos, Porky claims that's what turned him from a bystander to a business partner. Remember that.
But it's like, it's a little shaky. Coming to my situation, I like what you did with Ray J, and let's put it together. And that's when we start moving. Started from there.
So you just heard it for yourself. Porky said that was the moment it all started. That's when they started moving. He made it clear. Everything between him and Game began right there, after that incident. So now there's no need to speculate about how or when their relationship started. He just laid it out. Which leaves us with one simple question. Was Spider actually there?
Wack100. That's what I meant
Not
to say.
a fan, huh?
Now, what is there to be fan
Man, he was recently coming at YG tough. You see
I
that?
I seen that, man.
That was interesting because Blueface did a video with YG like a week before that.
But that's Wack's MO. What else do you know about Wack other than he's had interaction with other men and most of them negative?
Right.
What else? There's nothing else to know about.
There's a lot of that is what we know him for, interacting with people on social media, going at people's heads.
That's it. And then even when he's speaking positive, he's always speaking about another. There's no accolades to speak about himself until now. He's attached to a successful project. For the last 10 years, however long you've been seeing him establish himself, it's always about having another name in his mouth.
When did you guys start to have a problem? What did it start with?
He lied on me, man.
What did he say?
I looked up on the internet and he was talking about someday he was in Hollywood. He got a phone call from Doja. Saying that I had him surrounded. And Doja called for help. He said he was with Suge Knight. And him and Suge Knight had a conversation about should they go. Suge like, we ain't going over there. Mobb Deep was supposedly involved. And I had Me and Mobb Deep and some OG niggas had Doja surrounded in Beverly Hills.
At a hotel in Santa Monica?
Thank you.
Somebody told me to ask you about that, yeah.
Wack100 told the world that I was finna do something, and he had time to get a phone call, argue with Suge Knight, and show up and defuse a situation. Nobody that knows me would believe that.
Right.
What am I waiting on? What was going on all this time we was waiting on you to show up? I was never there. I have no recollection of this.
Oh, so you weren't even there at all?
Never have been there.
Oh, wow.
So when I seen you was bold enough to tell that lie on me, it's fuck you.
Do you think he knows it's not true, or you think?
Yeah, he knows it's not true. There's too many other people there, supposedly. Prodigy recalls this whole story in his audiobook. My name is not mentioned.
I was relaxing and writing rhymes in my hotel room before getting ready for the concert when 40 Glocc knocked on the door. Yo, the game is outside in front of the hotel with some basketball dude, he said. We got the drop on him. He doesn't even know we here in his hotel. What you want to do? 40 pulled out a 45 caliber pistol and continued. He saw Nice with the Mobb Deep Game Over shirt and got spooked, cuz. My man Maniac walked over to him and offered him a one-on-one fight. He still out there right now? I asked. Yeah, cuz. We spit lungies all over his Bentley, 40 said. Look over the balcony, cuz. Man, give me the gun, I said. Y'all niggas put the video camera on game. I'm gonna shoot the gun off the balcony and we catch him on camera ducking and running from the shots. Cuz, you tripping. We on Sunset, 40 said. You know how fast police will be here? Look, I'm not gonna shoot him. I'm gonna shoot in the air so we can get him on camera scared to death, I said. The gun will be long gone before the police get here. Nah, cuz, you gonna make this shit hotter than fish grease, 40 said. Let's just go beat his ass. Okay, I'll meet you in Harry's room in 5 minutes. After I got dressed, I went to Haz's room and told him what I wanted to do. No, you bugging, P, Av said. I'm gonna go down and talk to him. Real men talk things out. What? There's nothing to talk about, I said. Man, fuck talking. Real men talk things out, Av repeated. I knew what Av meant. Of course men can talk, but in this situation, I didn't agree at all. There was nothing to talk about. Game had been running his mouth about G-Unit and Mobb Deep ever since 50 dropped him and signed us. So I wanted to do something about it. Yo, guess what, cuz? 40 said about 5 minutes later. I just got off the phone with one of my blood homies, and he said Game called him saying, yo, Mobb Deep is on Sunset. Come over here and let's show these niggas how Cali gets down. My blood homie said he's in the car with Suge right now. My blood homie said he's in the car with Suge right now. My blood homie said he's in the car with Suge right now.
So let's look at what Prodigy just said. He said 40 walked into the room and told him he had just gotten off the phone with his blood homie, someone who was with Suge at the time. Now ask yourself, who do you think that blood homie was? We know exactly who it was. It was Porky. Prodigy had no reason to lie. He didn't even know who Porky was, but he just said that before Porky and Suge got there, they had already called 40.
My blood homie said he's in the car with Suge right now, and they've been looking for Game for a while now. They said they're gonna rob Game when they get here. They said they're gonna rob Game when they get here. They said they're gonna rob Game when they get here.
Porky already told us. Suge didn't like Game. So now, when Prodigy tells us that Porky found out 40 and G-Unit were down there, and he picked up the phone to call 40, it all starts to make sense. Remember all that shit that Porky said he was saying to Suge?
I say, Suge, check this out. In the day, that's a power rule. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go and assist these power rules. Now, if I get caught up or fucked off on account of you not assisting me, that's something you got to deal with.
Was all a lie, too. According to Prodigy's own book, Porky told 40 to stall Game out, because when they pulled up, they were gonna rob him. That's what Prodigy said, directly. And remember, Prodigy didn't even know who Porky was.
This was getting good. Meanwhile, Havoc wanted to talk it out. He was being smart and trying to stay out of trouble. Havoc would get busy if his back was to the wall, but he saw that it wasn't that serious. He was right, and I was wrong, but I didn't see it at that time. I was a natural-born troublemaker. It excited me. Hey, I'm sorry if you can't relate. That's just me. That's the same reason why I'm writing this book from a solitary confinement prison cell in Mid-State Correctional Facility. Suge Knight and 40's homeboy pulled up in a red GT Bentley. Suge Knight and 40's homeboy.
So let's break down what we've got so far. We've got Porky saying that Spider was there. We've got Spider saying he wasn't. Now we're listening to Prodigy's version of the story. And so far, Spider's name hasn't come up once. But 40's has multiple times. Now Prodigy's talking about these guys pulling up, and he says 40's homeboy. And who's he referring to? Porky. But here's the key part. Prodigy didn't even know who Porky was at that time. He just referred to him as 40's homeboy. So how did he know that this unnamed guy was 40's homeboy? Prodigy didn't know who Porky was, but for some reason he knew that 40 and Porky were homies.
Suge Knight and 40's homeboy pulled up in a red GT Bentley. He had game surrounded, his car covered in spit. Then, somebody from the hotel front desk must have called the police. As soon as the police pulled up, Game got in his spit-riddled Bentley and bounced. Suge did the same. Damn, I wanted to see some action.
Prodigy recalls this whole story in his audiobook. My name is not mentioned. However, my name is mentioned in the book. When there was times when my name is supposed to be relevant, my name comes up.
Before Mobb Deep came around, we weren't a part of that deal, so he wasn't talking to us. From now on, I'm dead in that deal, and you won't get your checks anymore, 50 told them. So y'all can forget about that. Wow, I thought, if 50 would have gave us that deal, I would have worn G-Unit to sleep at night, and in my casket. Buck mumbled over the phone once more. I got this, 50. Me and Spider Loc, we going hard. Me and Spider Loc, we going hard. Me and Spider Loc, we going hard.
When he tells the story, he names the people that was there. My name never comes up.
Is this the situation that 40 Glocc was there for that you weren't there for? Okay.
Now, when they did all that, cuz it's all fake. And then I let them go for 6 months with that fake ass story. And then I said, you know what? These niggas is trying to trick me off the streets. So what I did, I filed a lawsuit and I got paid off of it. And at the same time, I ran around fucking them up. And they denied it.
Who up?
Other than that, and this bitch ass, all he do is talk. This was
And
just
what you mean got on the plane, bro? We ain't go nowhere.
From me. I got 2 game from me. I got 2 game from me. I got 2 game from me. You don't think he used to thank me
I got the game from you?
He thanked me for it.
This is crazy, the motherfucker,
Game a liar
bro.
too, though.
Have y'all ever seen Game identify with 40 Glocc as being part of his squad?
He told me,
Hell
thank
no.
you, 40.
Fuck out of here. What are you talking about? I got
Come
the
on, my
game from you.
You got the game from me, bruh.
Thanks to Prodigy, we now know exactly what went down. CS 2back called 40 Glocc and told him to stall Game out. Because when they got there, they were going to rob him. That's straight from Prodigy's book. Not speculation, documentation. Now look at the facts. We've got 4 people involved in this story. Spider, Prodigy, Porky, and 40. And all 4 of them agree on one thing. 40 was there. But here's where it gets interesting. 3 of those 4 say Spider wasn't there. The only person claiming Spider was there is CS 2back. So now we're going to listen to Porky and 40 speak in real time about this incident. We've already heard what Porky said 8 years ago. Let's hear what he told 40. Not only are we going to prove that Porky lied, but we're also going to break down why Porky felt the need to lie about this situation in the first place. Porky talks so much, he ends up telling on himself. And every time he tries to rewrite history, he leaves a trail that leads right back to the truth.
It was me, you, Shug, my homie Yak, and all my homies from the set.
Shug don't even fuck with Game.
Bentley spit on that motherfucker.
I thought it was T-Money.
Don't even fuck with Game.
Hey, wait, I thought...
That's my point. That's exactly what it was. There ain't no fucking ST money.
Hold on, Glocc. What's your history with Game, Glocc? What's your history?
Yeah. Let me hear this. You had not introduced me to no fucking Game, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
You didn't fuck with Game. You weren't even on the scene.
Listen. I didn't start fucking with Game, bozo, until motherfucking LAX.
God with me. And you
Hey, Wack, I thought Game, when you said, I heard him say this shit, like, maybe
he said it. Let me tell you how I met my Wack.
10,000 or some shit.
He ain't lying. He's not lying. That's LAX was in the booth.
If you gonna believe them two on my mom, I don't make a bias, cuz. I'm telling you real history.
You gonna tell me how I met her.
What you talking about?
You telling me how I met a nigga, bro? What the fuck?
I didn't say how you met him. I said how you got with him.
Let's clear this up once and for all. 40 never said that's how Porky met Game. Porky did. He claimed that after he and Spider had a conversation, Spider and the G-Unit West Camp mounted up and left. Then, after they left, he introduced himself to Game. But now that we've unpacked all the receipts, we know Porky was lying. Spider wasn't even there. 40 was. After 40 and his homies left, Porky went and introduced himself to Game. That whole moment, the door that opened for Porky, happened because of 40. Looks like the phone call Porky made to 40 turned out to be a lucrative phone call that came with an $18,000 cash signing bonus, according to Porky. But instead of giving credit where it's due, Porky inserted Spider's name to make the story sound tougher. Why? Because name-dropping Spider made him feel like he was in the middle of a real war story. But the facts don't lie. It wasn't Spider. It was 40. And Prodigy confirms that. Once again, Porky tried to rewrite history and got caught.
That's how I got with him.
You said
T-Money, 2 T's.
T-Money and D-Mac.
Look, T-Money, 2 T's, right?
We ain't got a screen.
T-Money and 2 T's. 2 T's was head of security from niggas that go on bounty hunters. He run TD security now, right? Those are 2 people, my nigga, that set that up for me to sit down with Game.
For me to come to the booth, I walked in the booth and just went in his pocket and gave me everything he got. He didn't realize that, I mean, he probably didn't give a fuck. And he gave me like 18,000 shit. He just handed me everything he had. He like, that's just out of respect of what you did for me. He like, that's just out of respect of what you did for me. Let's start moving. I'm up under Jimmy Henchman right now. But it's like, you know, it's a little shaky. Coming to my situation, I like what you did with Ray J, and let's put it together. And that's when we start moving. Started from there.
You are never have been a player in this shit to be able to put nobody with nobody like that.
I ain't never been a player. Then why did you pull up and say, you said, help you get this look so you could make it look like you got a pass with this bitch ass?
We get this look, bro. That wasn't no, we never talk face to face. We never talk face to face. We never talk face to face.
Porky is saying they never spoke face to face because he spoke to 40 on the phone before arriving.
Yo, guess what, cuz? 40 said about 5 minutes later. I just got off the phone with one of my blood homies, and he said Game called him saying, yo, Mobb Deep is on Sunset. Come over here and let's show these how Cali gets down.
I got you, 40. He's like, you know what I come
We never talk face to face. You know how I jumped out. I ain't going to incriminate myself.
Spotted. I got 16 on me.
I jumped out one way. The homie Lil John pulled up, him and Zap. Lil John and Zap pulled up in the middle of the street another way. You niggas boxed in. Either way you look at it, you know it.
Do y'all hear this guy lie? He just said he incriminated himself, but he just said he had me slip.
40 is literally telling Porky, you just said you don't want to incriminate yourself. But moments earlier, Porky already did. He incriminated himself. He openly implicated himself in a conspiracy to commit murder by saying he was the one who paid to have 40 shot at his homie's funeral.
But this Darmudo, I was able to reach over the coat and pat you on the back, little guy.
If that was true, why would you be on here snitching?
I just said
You ain't
pat you on the back. There's
nigga,
no
you're
crime
talking.
against
That's what I'm telling
patting
you.
you on the back.
Cuz. What is you running from, cuz?
There's no crime against patting you on the back.
If you telling me you took me on the back, then why I ain't snitching on you? But you said I snitched on Game.
That nigga tried to go to a funeral thinking it was all
Who
love.
told you that dead man shit?
Hey, listen, hey,
Come on,
what that
cuz,
Paul Rue felt like.
You still, what you want to talk about me getting shot? You want to tell who did it? You still snitching? You the police.
Went to a funeral. What happened?
Ask him what happened at his
What happened?
It's all over. It was on TMZ. Where you at?
Boy, they popped his motherfucking ass up.
Why your own hood pop you at a funeral?
Shout out to
Why your own hood get off on you at a funeral?
That's called that hand blast.
My hood ain't got off on me, nigga.
You a motherfucking lie. They didn't. It wasn't your enemy.
I'm asking you. I ain't believing
that
him.
was not your enemy shooting up your homie's funeral, bro.
My whole hood ain't did a goddamn thing.
That was not your enemy. That was internal, was it not?
What was internal?
Oh my!
What was that
pop
funeral?
you ain't from your enemy set. No, what you mean? You listen.
You said it was on the internet already.
You said it was on the internet.
It's on the internet, but we ain't talking about who did what and what it was.
No, but don't act like it was some enemies came through shooting and you got hit. That ain't what happened. Boxed in. That's all I said.
I'm dealing with a real berry ass, man.
So you saying I pulled up in L.A. a Paru and came to a coach and said, "Hey, will you get that Paru over there passed?" So you saying I pulled up in L.A. a Paru and came to a coach nigga and said, "Hey, will you get that Paru over there passed?"
With that last line Porky just said, you now understand why he felt the need to lie in the first place. He felt like if he told the truth, it would make him look like a clown. He just said a Pyru in L.A. coming to a Colton City crip looking for a pass. Well, let it be known today, that's exactly what happened.
So you saying I pulled up in L.A. a Paru and came to a coach and said, "Hey, will you get that Paru over there passed?"